Well, greetings and salutations. This is the Series 7 Guru coming to you from my off-grid studio, getting our kicks on historic Route 66 with an explication request. Here's the request. An investor opens the following options positions. He goes long, one cap, July 50, call at 4.5, and short, one cap, July 45, call at 8.25. What is the investor's maximum gain, maximum loss, and break even? There's 8 things you got to know about spreads. The first test question is, can you identify the spread? It's when you're long and short the same type of contract. SOTA, same option, different action. Call, buy, sell. Second test question is, can you determine debit or credit? That's important because if we get debit, we know exercise wide and we know our loss. We get credit, we know credit expire narrow, and we've got our gain. We got no max gain, max loss, and then bullish or bearish. I go, don't hate the 8. Here they asked us 3 of those 8 things. All right, so a lot of ways to go here, a lot of ways to go. All of the action in the spread takes place between the strikes. So there's only 5 points here to be made or lost. I think that's a floor and a ceiling, right? So it'd be silly for me to come up with a gain and loss answer that don't add up to 5 points or $500 based on one contract here. So boom, there's the market price of the stock. I'm saying I only want to play between 45 and 50, and then I don't want to play no more. I have an obligation to sell at 45 and a choice to buy at 50. So that's pretty cool. I know that if this blows up on me, I can at least get the stock at 50, live at 45. Don't want to do that. I mean, I'm going to be a loser, but that's better than doing a naked call. Anybody who does a naked call probably doesn't know about credit call spreads. All right, so below 45, contracts have no intrinsic value, and these contracts will expire, and I'll get to go neener, neener, neener. I get to keep the money, right? So here's the initial setup, right? That 4.5 is money out. That's the 50 call. I put a little minus sign there. The 45 call is money in, 8.25. So we know the break even is somewhere in between here. And I think a break even is a good place to start. As a test taker, we can eliminate anything offered to us that isn't somewhere between 45 and 50, isn't somewhere between that range. When I net those two numbers, I can get the net, and then that's how I apply Cal. Cal is a memory aid device to remind us how we get break evens in spreads, and that's call, add to the lower. So we're going to take that net premium, 3.75, and add it to 45 for our break even of 48.75. We have answered the first part of the question, right? So there's that range, and now we have our break even. Don't think about it till you get it done, but after you get done, you can say, okay, well, if I buy this at 48.75 and deliver it at 45, which I'm obliged to do, I'd lose $375, but that's what I got in the account. So, I'd lose 125. So, but, get the break even and go from there. All right, so this is a credit spread. The larger premium dominates the position, which is a short call. So this is a bearish spread. The short call is 8.25, and that's the dominant leg. So anywhere below 48.75, we're a winner. 45 or lower, both contracts expire. We keep the money. Neener, neener, neener. So our maximum gain is the credit, $375. Now, if you don't want to memorize things, I think it's easier to know the gain and loss add up to the difference in the strikes. Or you can memorize that the maximum loss and the credit spread is the difference in the strikes less the net credit. I just think that's a mental mess. I think there's 5 points to be made or less, lost, boom. Please note that adds up to 5 points, right? My maximum loss is when I get assigned and I have to buy the stock at 50, deliver at 45, I lose $500. But remember, there's already $375 in my account. And so I hope you found this explication helpful. The answer to the question is max gains 3.75, $375. Maximum loss is 125. The break even is 48.75. To answer this, by the way, we did have to determine bullish or bearish. Larger premium dominates the position. When we established the spread, the difference was 3.75. And the other thing we'd want to know is it expires our max gain. And if the difference is smaller, we can close this out for less. We're going to be a winner. We want to get smaller. Remember, inch by inch, spreads are a cinch. Yard by yard, spreads are hard, and I will see you for the next explication request.